Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Unlocking Doors. Today we are talking about your credit score. We're going to dive into how to establish credit, what your credit consists of, and most importantly for a lot of folks, how to improve your credit. So you guys stay tuned. All right, Michelle, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about how people can establish credit, because if there's one thing that is true in this life, it's that even if you have a ton of cash sitting around, you've got to have credit to get through life. Pretty much everybody is going to check your credit if they're providing any kind of service.
And let's remind everybody what everybody is.
Yeah, so who all is checking your credit?
Insurance companies care.
Yeah, okay.
They care about your driving record and your payment history. Mm-hmm. Employers are starting to check credit pretty consistently.
Right.
You have utility companies, they care. Landlords
care. Yeah. If you want to rent a property, even if you're not buying, landlord wants to know that you're going to pay the rent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's
everybody.
Just part of our life.
Yeah, it's part of our life.
It's just adulting.
With that said, it's not like you are born and have a credit score. So how do people establish credit?
I recommend getting a secured credit card.
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing a secured credit card, maybe you get a $500 card. The secured part of it is you're gonna have to give the credit card company $500, and then they're gonna loan your money back to you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna make the payment on that money. So, just doing 6 to 12 months of paying the debt on time will establish a credit.
Yeah. And that's kind of similar to what I did whenever I first, was wanting to buy a piece of property and I didn't have any credit. There was a rehab project that I was going to turn into a rental. And so it was going to be more of a construction loan, not like a 30-year mortgage. But I went to the banker and I was like, hey, I've got the down payment for 20% down. What do I need to do? It was a small loan amount, by the way. But I was like, what do I need to do to get a loan so that I can actually buy this and y'all, finance the rehab project? And he said, well, one thing we could do is give you, a loan for $1,000.
I said, no, dude, we're not loaning you money for a house.
Yeah.
You have not proven yourself.
Exactly. So he was like, we'll give you a loan for $1,000 and you're going to pay it back to us over the next 6 months. And it was kind of gaming the system a little bit, because I just kept the cash in the account and had an auto draft set up to where it just paid it back.
It worked.
But it worked, and I established enough credit. And luckily for this situation, like the person I was buying the property from was a family member, so I had time to do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the case, but I think that kind of speaks to the fact that you need to be prepared.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, before you're out shopping for property, make sure you can qualify for the loan.
Absolutely.
Get pre-approved. But
that's the advice that I give. I was talking to some high school students a couple months ago, and that was my suggestion. If you get a $500 credit card, go maybe put your cell phone bill. Mm-hmm. That's probably not a good one, because could be a large bill, but put a bill that is a recurring charge, right, that goes on that credit card, but have an auto draft set up where you're paying that bill every single month too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of gaming the system a little bit, but it works.
And I think the best way to establish credit, if you don't have it, is to do something along those lines where you borrow a small amount, make sure it's manageable, make sure it's something you can pay back, and don't be dumb with the money when you get it. Like if you are, if you're doing a credit card, don't go max it out. If it's an unsecured credit card, don't go max it out and not be able to pay it back. If it's an unsecured loan, don't spend the money on something stupid thinking don't go try to double it at Choctaw. Like be smart and pay it back and establish good credit.
Absolutely.
So with that, what does a credit score consist of? Like, what's the makeup of a credit?
Matter?
Yeah.
So part of the credit, a large portion of the credit score is made up of credit utilization. Mm-hmm. We talked about that on the last episode. If you've got credit available to you that you're not using, that's going to help your credit score, because it's the credit utilization. Right. So we'll talk about ways to improve credit scores in just a little bit. So I don't want to give away all of the secrets now. Right. Another 30% is Actually, 30% is credit utilization, 35% is payment history, which
Okay.
is, the 6 months of paying the new credit on time. So
Right.
it's helping your scores, because that's a large portion. That's 65% of your credit score is made up of credit history and credit utilization.
Right.
But the other things that matter too is the length of credit history. So the longer, typically whenever I'm looking at credit reports, if it's someone who is in their 50s or 60s, they're typically going to have a better credit score than someone who's 20 because of that history.
Right.
That matters. And then the credit mix. So you did a secured installment loan at the bank, and that is a different type of credit than a credit card. That's a revolving, because it's not a set limit.
Right.
When you're at the bank, it's secured and it's a set limit. So that matters too.
Right.
And then the other portion is new creditor inquiries. So the more often you ask for credit, that is a credit inquiry, because someone's going to be pulling your credit report and they're going to make a determination whether or not they're going to loan you money based on all of these things.
Yeah.
And so if you ask for money too often, then that's going to start affecting your credit score as well. It matters.
Is that kind of where creditors are like, hey, why are you asking for so much money all the time? Or yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, if you ask me for money, I don't know if you're going to pay the bill on time. Just because you have a history of paying the bill on time, this is more money that you're asking to borrow. I don't know. Can you afford that new debt? Because remember, the credit scoring system has no idea what your income is.
Right.
You may have just gotten a raise and you can afford that bill because of this raise that you received, but the credit scoring system doesn't know that. They don't have any idea what your employment and income is.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've talked about how to establish what it's made up of, what are some things to do to improve credit?
So again, it kind of feels like you're playing a game, right?
Yes.
And you really are. It's an adult game.
Yeah.
But if things have happened, say for instance you ended up with medical condition and unable to work,
Right.
and the bills are continuing to come in, but your income isn't.
Right.
And you have this time in your life, it's an extenuating circumstance, and you get behind in bills. Then it's just a matter of really knowing what is the system, what is the point system,
Right.
to improve your scores. So we just went over all of the things that really matter to your credit score. So you're just really going to have to think about that. Now, credit history, you can't do much about the fact you missed those bills.
Right.
But the sooner you get them caught up and you work out some payment arrangements with all of the creditors and get back on track, the more that just is in the rearview mirror.
Right.
You can't fix the past. All you can do is worry about the future and moving forward. So getting back on track and paying those bills on time will help improve those scores. Paying down those high balances. So really paying attention to what are my balances and what of these accounts can I work on really paying down once
Right.
you get yourself paid up. I know you've got some ideas or questions. I see it.
Well, yeah. So I guess, one thing that I'm curious about is these, you hear about these credit score repair companies. I'm always curious about those. I've had some experience with them. I've had some clients repair their credit. I guess it's just a case-by-case basis on what they tell you to do, and each person's financial situation is different? Or is there any stock in that? Or is it like you're going to tell them a lot of the same information that one of these credit repair companies are going to tell them?
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
So, they understand the system really well.
Right.
So they could give you the more specific advice as to what is most important right now, working with the money that you have available to you.
Yeah.
It's going to come with a fee.
Right.
So you also have to make sure that you can manage paying the bills that need to be paid
Plus
and the
paying
fee for
them.
the services.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to improve your scores quickly, it's great to check. And I've got someone that I've worked with for the last 15 years that I
Right.
trust.
Yeah.
But it's still, the past is still the past. Now, there may be some things on the credit report that are incorrect. And if that's the case and you know for sure it's not right, then a credit repair company can also help get those things removed.
Gotcha. Another question I have is, so I know there's a difference between when you pay your credit card bill off, or like when your payments due, and when the bureaus report. Like is there some kind of strategy on when is the best time to pay your credit card bill, or is it just each card?
Each card's different because they all have different reporting cycles. So
Yeah.
it depends on when I pull a credit report and you've paid the bill.
Yeah.
But if you've got 4 or 5 accounts, how do you really time that perfectly?
I guess you just have to know when all their reporting dates are. That's something I've always heard.
Which is one thing that we do. I mean, it's a strategy that we use. If someone is paying down several accounts
Yeah.
in order to improve their scores, then it's a matter of calling those creditors and find out when each one of them will have the update reported, and then pulling the credit report after the update.
Right.
It is a strategy.
Cool.
It's complicated timing, but
Right. Well, and all that tells me is that it is kind of a game. You have to know how to play the game, and you have to have, and really, I don't know. I mean, I've been in this, finance world, real estate world for over a decade now, and I still don't fully understand the credit score game, other than pay your bills and, don't take out too much debt that you can't pay back. Like, that's the basis of what I know. I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give anybody who's watching this is, if you're in a situation where you're trying to improve and you're really not sure where to start or what to do, oftentimes, let's say, it depends if you're trying to buy a car or buy a house, but if you need a mortgage, you can obviously give people guidance on, hey, here's the best game plan. Or if it's a situation that's serious enough, it's like, here's my person that does credit repair that I've been using for 15 years. They're going to be able to get you taken care of, because this is a little more complex than pay this off and pay that down.
yeah, when we pull a credit report, most mortgage companies, the credit services that we use will tell us what the possible improvement to the score could be.
Okay.
So let's just say I pull and I'm looking at all 3 of the bureaus. They're all going to have a different strategy for all 3 of the bureaus. So then it's just a matter of looking and seeing which ones are the most common that we know that we could do that would affect all 3 credit bureaus.
Yeah.
Then it's just, what does your budget allow you to do to improve that score, and
Right.
how much time do we have? But yeah, there's a lot that we can do just from a strategy standpoint at the mortgage company level. If it gets too complicated, or if it's going to be, more than what our scope is, we'll
Right.
refer it out.
Cool. All right. Well, there's a little bit more information on how to establish credit, what your credit consists of, and how to improve it. If you're in the beginning stages of building credit and you're looking to purchase real estate and you're going to be using a loan, I don't think it's too early to start planning and just come up with a game plan on how you can put yourself in the best position to make that happen. So reach out to Michelle. She's going to be able to help you out with that for sure. And be sure to share this with a friend. Thanks for watching this episode. Drop a comment down in the comment section. Ask any questions down there. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll catch you on the next episode.